You talk about people as the soul as coming into the Earth's environment as a sort of duality, of female and male.
Not always female and male, yeah.
But feminine and masculine.
Not always, no. The soul itself, the complete soul, when it's amalgamated, has a combination of feminine and masculine qualities. But the soul, when it splits, has three potential ways of splitting. One way of splitting is for one half to be male and the other half to be female. In other words, one half to be dominantly masculine in qualities and therefore attract a masculine body, and the other half to be dominantly feminine in qualities and therefore attract a feminine body. Then the other alternative is that the soul has more femininity in it as a total. As a personality. And when it splits, one half splits with the fair dominance of femininity, so that goes into a female body, and the other half splits with the dominance of feminine qualities into a female body. The third alternative is that the soul is dominantly masculine, even though it does have some feminine qualities, and if that happens, then generally the soul will split into one half will split into a dominantly masculine and therefore attract a dominantly masculine body, a male body, and the other half is dominantly masculine, so it will also attract a masculine body. So they are the three potential ways that the soul.
So Mary is your soulmate. So is her soul development exactly the same as yours?
No. Can I answer that? Yeah, I'd like to answer that. No. So for every soul, as it splits, so every soul splits at the time of incarnation, and ourselves, we reached a certain development in love, which meant that we could reincarnate, for want of a better term, and we split again.
Can I just explain that when we reached that unified condition, we did have exactly the same development in love, because that's the only way that you can unify, by having the same development in love.
But then for any half of a soul, if you like, for yourself, equally myself at this time, and AJ at this time, we're all impacted upon by the environment in which we grow up. Our connection to God is also limited by those things, or encouraged, depending on the upbringing that we have. And so my soul development, which is the development of my soul, how I classify it is in terms of love, and for myself in terms of connection with God, because I have a strong passion for our soul. Each soul has its own personality. So our soul's personality has a strong desire for God, which is part of the reason why historically we're noted for that, or at least you are. So at incarnation or reincarnation, the personality remains intact of the soul. However, the life experience then begins to affect the soul condition. So for myself and AJ, we've grown up in completely different families, and had different experiences, had different levels of openness to God and emotion according to the family life that we were in this time. And so at this stage, AJ's soul development in love is greater than my own, but that's not necessarily always going to be the case, but it is at this time. Does that answer your question well?
And it's not because of anything that I have intrinsically that's different than Mary. It's only because we've had different opportunities. And I began the process of clearing away the errors of my soul quite a number of years before Mary began the process. So I sort of had a head start in terms of the process of clearing away the errors in my soul in this life, which really for me began probably close to 15 years ago now, in terms of the processes I was involved in. Whereas for Mary, it really probably begun 4 years ago.
Yeah, so maximum. Probably 3, really.
Yeah. So it's just that if Mary had begun 15 years ago and I'd begun 4 years ago, then our situation would be reversed. You know, where Mary would be in a better condition of love than I would be, because she would have probably dealt with more emotional reasons why she wasn't loving than I would have at this point. So it just has depended upon our circumstances and the different things that happen in our life that got us to the point that where we are now. It's got nothing to do with me intrinsically being sort of better or worse than Mary or vice versa. It's just got to do with more to do with life's opportunities, and then what decisions were made with those particular opportunities.